Alright guys, what we got here is a really cool example of an awesome error coin. Okay, this is what you would call a grease strike through error. Means that it's actually called a struck through grease error. Sometimes if you don't know what it is exactly, they just call it struck through, but this is commonly associated with being struck through grease, meaning that when the coin was being minted, this run of coins, that the dies were changed, maybe for worn die, whatever. The cap was taken off, and the grease, they forgot to wipe the grease off. Seems like such a simple mistake, but this happens a lot. Makes you wonder what's really going on in there. And I know at first glance, it looks like it's just a really worn and beaten up coin, but when you look, there's a couple of indicators here. One is that you still have all of the devices on the reverse side of the coin. You've got a little bit of grease, see you're missing some lettering down here. You can see that there was a little bit of grease possibly on there when it was hit, but not as drastic as on the obverse. And the major indicator on the obverse is that this isn't just worn down, is the detail in Washington's hair. Sorry, the camera's like moving on its own, trying to, it's that laser adjust. It like wants to move on its own, trying to adjust. So the detail that's still left in his hair there in the couple of spots, you wouldn't have that if it was just worn, okay? So this is a really, really cool error right here. You'll find it a lot of times in smaller amounts. I showed you guys in God We Rust, where just the T is missing, and that was from grease. And that's a more popular coin because of just the nature of what it says and such, and it's very collectible. So it gets a pretty high premium. A coin like this, and especially in the condition it's in, may not really get that much of a high price. I would expect, I've seen coins sell exactly like this on eBay for anywhere between $10 and $50, but it's a really nice error, it's a really nice error. Now, if you want to take it a step further, we'd take a look at this one here. This is a smaller, but yet gradable example, and this came right out of a mint bag. And it still has the grease on it, which is actually quite rare. You can only find it that way right out of a mint bag. As you can see, it still has the grease all over the coin. And what the grease is actually a combination of just metal filings, shavings, and the oil that sits in with the planchets. And after a while, a little dust and filings and everything else, they all get into oil and make a thick grease, and then it gets stuck on one of the planchets that's possibly at the bottom of the box or something, and and that could happen, or it could be grease filled dye. So there's several different ways in which grease can get there, but it's what you call a struck through grease error. This one we plan to send off and get graded. Anytime that evidence of whatever caused the strike through is still attached to the coin, it definitely brings a little bit more collectability and premium, and can also be recognized as a specific error by a grading company. So, being that this is a new coin, a gradable coin, it's from a mint roll, and it's got the evidence still attached to it. It's got grease all over it, and such. I think that this is going to be, a valuable coin. I would expect maybe after we get it graded to be well over $100, maybe $200, and possibly more. It just really depends. I haven't been able to find any comparable examples to this. Actually, I've done lots of searching and haven't been able to find one example of the grease still attached to the coin. So you can find a lot of struck through grease errors and struck through grease coins, but not any with the grease still attached. So we're pretty excited and happy about that one. There you go. There's a couple valuable coins that we found while looking for the 2019 W, which we have still yet to find. But we are finding really cool stuff in the process that we probably wouldn't have found otherwise. So we didn't really go through quarters that much. Really stuck with nickels and pennies. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this. If you like it and you want to stay with the hunt and see what we end up finding in the future as we travel up north, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell, notification bell, because we're putting out new videos every day.